Well, this is the Ducati Hypermotard 796cc. They do have the 1100cc Hypermotard, which we will be testing later in the show, but I've decided to take out the 796, which is the lower cc. I think it's a good package. I've been riding it all weekend and I can't find a fault with it. I've found that many features and that many extras that are just unbelievable and easy to ride. It's just a great package. It's something that you can take on-road and off-road. Don't worry about the road tyres on it. They do handle all right in the bush with these tyres. You just got to be a bit careful on the front. A couple of things I would change if it was my personal bike. It'll be sort of like the gear ratio. It's probably a bit tall for around the city. You'd probably want to put a less tooth on the front or more on the back. But other than that, I've enjoyed every minute of it. It handles well, turns well, it does pretty much everything you want it to, and if you want to play up, you can really play up on it. A couple of the good features I have found is that when I went bush, the mirrors are perfect, because if you do hit anything, they just flip in and they go up. It's all attached to the one bark buster. It's a very good idea. I think most of the trails bikes should have it because they're always losing mirrors. Other than that, the indicators are good because they're tucked out of the way. If you're in the bush, then you're not going to damage them as much. Yeah, the features I would probably myself personally put on it is a bash plate, just to keep, if you are going off-road, you can stop the engine and the exhaust from getting crushed or broken. Suspension handles really well. Probably tyre pressures were a bit hard for what I was doing. Well, the Ducati Hypermotard, it actually has twin discs on the front, and they're the actual big brakes what you would run on your super motard bike. So they have the big brakes, also the four piston calipers from Brimbro. They're on both sides of the wheel, so it's got some very good front stopping power, as well as the front forks are actually what you run on your motocross bike. So they're a 34mm upside down fork, so they're very beefy and very strong, so you can actually, I wasn't afraid to get air with this thing. The only thing I was worried about is no bash plate, but that's just a personal thing for myself. These are belt driven. Both cylinders are actually belt driven. On your normal bikes, they're actually a chain driven, so you don't get much noise there as well. It's pretty good system. Fuel injection, of course. The exhaust sounds very fruity for a standard exhaust system. Yeah, actually, I have heard a few backfires coming out the back, which I don't mind. It sounds very good. On the rear of this bike, it's got a single-sided swing arm with one nut to release the wheel. It's a lot easier to take your wheel out, especially if you're going to change a tyre. It's a very good idea. I think all bikes should have it and make it a lot easier for us mechanics. Also, with the rear brake, it runs a twin piston caliper, whereas most of the other bikes are only running the single piston caliper, which is another added extra. It's running Öhlins suspension in the rear. They're a very good package. It would be worth going out and having a test ride of one of these. It'll blow you away. They're a very good bike.